refresh it, and as you can see here, that's 39 data. This is our email, password, username, etc. Let's now log in it. If you click on login and enter some information like what's our import email, let's copy it from here. Let's paste it here. Oops, let's back. We have to copy this mail copy. Let's paste it here, and in password section, let's paste this password. Let's paste it. Let's paste it, and click on here. User can direct to this page. This, as you can see, this is our product. That's it for. Let's get started. How can make this stuff. So this is part 2. If you want to know how to connect our registration form with database and send our data in database, then you can watch part 1. So first let's open XAMPP first. So when you open XAMPP, start Apache server, and when the Apache server is started, then open MySQL server. As you can see here, the port of both of them were activated. Now let's click on MySQL admin panel. After that, wait for a few seconds. It takes time to load our database. Now as you can see here, our database is loaded. Now you can close the XAMPP file. XAMPP runs in a background, so we don't need it. So let's close it. Our Apache and MySQL server will start in the background, running in the background. So in our previous video, we created a database name called code, and in the database code, we created a table named registration. This is our value of registered user. So let's open this folder. Let's open our form into localhost. So firstly, open this PC. In this PC, where you selected to install XAMPP. By default, XAMPP installation location is C drive, and after that XAMPP htdocs, and in previous video we created YT folder. So let's create YT, and in project 1, this is our project. So by default, the location of XAMPP installation is C drive and XAMPP folder. But if you selected another location, then you can click on that location and open htdocs folder. It's important because when we are loading on localhost, then our local htdocs folder will load it. That's why we have to put our code into htdocs folder. Inside htdocs folder, in our previous video, we created a YT folder. That's why I'm clicking here. Inside it, to be separated, I created another folder named project 1. Inside project 1, let's open it with VS Code. So right click it. So let's open in localhost. First type localhost / and name of our folder. So localhost. After that, as you can see here, our folder name is YT. If you press enter, as you can see here, our folder is here, name project 1. Let's click on it. Now as you can see here, our form is loaded. Now let's open our form. It seems an error. Let's fix it out. So in VS Code, we have to uncomment this. This is the login section of our form. So let's uncomment it. Now let's save it. And in style.css, there are a few errors. That's why we have to fix it first. So in style section, in main class, we have to comment this all displays and height properties. So let's comment it. And in form section, we have to put here, and login section, we have to put here left cal function. After that, 50% minus 200 pixel. Now let's save it. and let's open our form how it's look like. So guys, as you can see here, there is still an error. This is because of our folder. So I am copying this file and pasting in YT folder here, not in project 1 folder. I'm pasting here. So now let's open it. Close this. Let's open it. Now, as you can see here, our form is ready. Now let's close this file, we don't need it. After that, open VS Code and in index, create new folder, create new file to login.php. So in this file, firstly we have to connect to the database. This is our database. So firstly we have to connect to our database. So let's start writing PHP code here. This is the basic syntax of PHP. Now let's write it. Firstly, I already told. Let's start it from beginning. Firstly, we have to store our database information into a variable, so it's become easier to access. So let's create a variable. Firstly, dollar is used in PHP as creating a variable, like dollar. I can put it anything here, its name. You can put dollar your names, such as code help, anything. I'm using server name inside double quote because we are providing string, that's why. So server name in XAMPP, the server name is localhost. So localhost. After that, put semicolon. PHP is case sensitive. Case sensitive means if we write capital case or lowercase letter, then it's different. So it means if we write capital letter firstly, example S and S. Firstly I am writing the capital letter and this is small letter. These both are different in PHP. That's why be careful while writing these names. So dollar, after that dollar username. Username is we are providing string. So inside double quote root ROOT. At the last, put semicolon. Now, after that, dollar password. Let me finish it up, then I'll explain you. Now we successfully created a variable and stored our database information. Firstly, dollar server name. It means our server name. By default in XAMPP, our server name is localhost. After that, we have to write here username, root, and password section. In XAMPP, we don't need to access data by giving password, so there is no password. So we have to write it blank here. After that, DB name means database name. So our database name is code, so that's why. Let me show you. Our database name is code, COD. That's why I'm writing code here. After that, we successfully stored this database information into variable. Now let's execute and command to connect to the database. So let's create another variable to check if database connection is successful or not. So I am writing check variable equals there is a function name called MySQL _connect. This is a function in a PHP which take database information and connect to our database. So firstly it takes dollar server name, after that comma. Let me write it down first and I'll explain you. Now we are stored, we are created on one of the variable named check. Inside this variable, we are calling a function MySQL underscore connect. This function takes information about database and connects us with database. So this order is important. So firstly, I'm writing here server name. This means the server name. After that, username, password, database name. If we write like that, if we mistake the order, suppose inside of server name, inside of server name, I written just like that. So it's create error for us. That's why this order is important. So let's back, save it. After that, we have to connect this PHP form into our login. We have to connect this PHP code with this login form. So let's open HTML code. Inside HTML code, this is an login form code. So inside login form code, as you can see here, there is a form where is action. Inside action, we have to write here, if user click on submit button, then where we want to redirect to the user. So that's why I created login.php. So here we have to write here login.php, and inside this method, this is a necessary. There are two types of method, get and post. So post is more secure, that's why I'm using post. You can use get. I'll explain you how you can do. Let's format it. Let's save. Now our database successful or not, we don't have a CN message. So now let's check our database connection is successful or not in a PHP code. So inside PHP code, let's create if else condition. If else condition means if our database connection is successful, then show us message connection okay, semicolon, and else means if our database connection is failed, then show us message connection failed. Semicolon. Now let's save it. This means if our database connection is successful, then we have to, then in the screen we have to show, in the screen it could show us message the connection is okay, and if connection is failed, then and in the screen it shows message connection failed. So let's save it and open form. Let's load it first. After that, click on login. Let's click on login here. So let's reload it. After that, let's click on login. Now as you can see here, our form says connection okay. It means our database connection is successful. Now let's write other code to check. So in the method of checking the code user details, we have to import user data from HTML to PHP. So how we can do that? So let's write down code here. So inside PHP, firstly we have to store these data into variable. So let's create $email. You can choose anything. So there is two stuff. So I'm copying, paste $email and password. So I'm using. So as you already know about that, we used here method post. That's why we have write down here $_post in big bracket single inverted comma. This is a syntax. we have to, if we want to extract data from HTML to PHP, we have to use this syntax. As you know, we use it post method here, that's why we're using post _ post. If you used get method, so then we have to write here get, but we are using post. So after that, inside this break bracket, we have to identify which element data we want to extract. That's why name attribute is used for this stuff. So inside the name, we have to write here unique name. So unique name means we have to write here different from it's not be duplicated or other. So I'm writing in email section, email _ login, because it's a login stuff. It is in a login form. That's why using login. You can use anything here, but it can be unique. That's why. As I don't use _login anywhere in the form, that's why using this. You can use anything. So in password section, pass _ login. Now this name is very important because we want to identify in a backend which element data we want to extract. So name. So let's copy this name. Copy. Inside this PHP code, let's in email variable, let's paste here. After that, in password section, let's copy this name, copy it. Now let's paste it here. Oops. Sorry, let's copy it from here, copy and paste it here, save it. Now we are saving for files. After that, our data is successfully imported from HTML to PHP. Now we want to check these two data are exist in our database or not. So how we can do that? So let's create another variable $data equals. Now we are writing an MySQL query, so that's why we have to use a double quote here. So that's semicolon inside double quote. So let me finish it first. So let me explain you. So this is an MySQL query. So in this query, select a star means we are selecting all these rows, all these columns in a table. That means ID, username, number, email, password. We are selecting all rows, columns. After that, from, that means in which table we want to select this all. So from registration table. That's why the name of our registration table is, so name of our table is registration. That's why registration. And where, this is a condition, we want to execute where email equals to email. That means in our database, in email column, we are extracted the value of email. And equating it with given email by the user. And that's after that and condition. So let me explain this first. So after that, we are extracting password from our database. This is password column, and in password column we are executing password column data with given password from the user. That means in email given by the user and email in our database, if both were matched and email in the database, password in the database and password given by the user. If the both the condition were true, means both email and password are true, then this line returns 1. This means this line returns 1, true. After that, now in SQL command, now it's not executed. Now we have to execute this. So let's create another variable. This line is not currently executed. So let's create another variable $check. Oops, I already created that. So let's create execute equals to, there is a function to execute MySQL commands, MySQL queries. So MySQLi underscore query, it's a function. So firstly we have to write down here $check. That means where we want to execute, where, after that comma, and what we want to execute. So $data. So in this section, where, in this database where our all information is stored in it. So in this database we want to execute this data, this line. So now this line is executed. After that we have to count it here, how many times this line were executed. That means how many times our data of user were found. So let's create another variable $count. Count equals, there is a function name number. Let me write down. So this is a function MySQL underscore num underscore rows. This is a function which takes this value. That means how many times our execute were true becomes true. That means at the first, if there is no data in the database, suppose if user gives the one data and we search that data into database and we didn't find any matching, so then in that condition our count value is 0. Our count value is 0. If data is matched then one or more than one time, then it's stored in this count variable. That means how many times this data variable becomes true. As I already told you, if this both condition were true, then it returns a value named true, boolean value true. And that's why we are counting that how many times our data variable becomes true. So that's why $count. And this is MySQL underscore num underscore row. This is a function which takes this variable and count how many times it becomes true. Now let's write down condition. If else condition, if our count variable is greater than equals to 1, that means, wait, let me write down it first. That means if our count variable is greater than 1, that means at the first our count value is, the value of count is 0. That means our no data is founded or not matched, our value is 0. But when any one or more than one data is matched, then our value becomes 1 or more than 1. That's why I am writing here, if our value of count is 1 and greater than 1, then redirect to the another page. So I haven't created another page. So let me write down else condition first, then I write it on the condition. So then I write it to another page code in HTML. So let's write it else. I am writing here script tag JavaScript. So it's look nicer. That's why I'm writing in JavaScript, comma. and inside we have to write script. Let's me write down it first. So this is in JavaScript code. If user entered wrong information, then we show them this information. Please check your email and password and try again. So let's save it and let's try. So before that, there is a few errors in the code. Let's fix it down. In this section, we have to write semicolon at the last. After that, in data variable, here we are taking value from our PHP. That's why we have to write it into inside single quote. We can write inside double quote, but we already use double quote here. That's why we have to write it into inside single quote. Also inside. Let's save it here. Let's check it. First we have to reload because it's not live server. That's why. Let's click on open. If we click on blank, as you can see here, please check your email and password and try again. So we have to first show message to fill this form first, then we want to redirect. So how we can do that? So inside the HTML code, in form section, we have to write here an attribute name required and password section required. And in checkbox section required. Required. So let's save it here. Let's reload it and wait for a few seconds. Login. If you click on here, as you can see here, it says please fill out this field. So I am writing here JPT and wrong password. So let's suppose I fill this blank empty. So I have written email here because I entered typical female. Still we have to write a password. That's why this is the use of input required attribute. Now as you can see here, please check your email and password, try again. That's why now we have to, if user data is correct, then we have to redirect to it. We have to redirect to the user into another page. So how we can do that? Let's create another page first. So I am creating main.html. Inside main.html, I am writing into like while code, and in title I am writing here main. Save it here. So guys, in my previous video I already taught you how we can create this form. So let's open it first. I am using this image. I use this image. Wait a second. I use this image in my form, in my page, and I already taught you how we can create like this form. Wait a second, it's loading. I already taught you how we can create this. This is a navigation bar. I am at the center. I want to write welcome to code. So let's code it. So inside HTML, body, HP dot welcome. Let's save it here. Now let's as you can see here, this is our welcome. Now let's position it into center. So that's class well. So let's write down some CSS. So inside CSS, I'm right here. I'm targeting this element. this element I am writing font size means how big we wanna put our font. So that's 30 pixel. So as you can see here, this is more bigger than the previous one. Now let's put it into center. So I am writing position absolute, save it, and after that I am writing top 0. Here is our, so I am writing top from top 50% and from left 50%. Now this is almost simple, but we have to write here translate x minus 50%. This method is entering an element in HTML or CSS. Let's increase the font size of it. So I am writing font size 60 pixel. So it's too bigger. Let's put it 50. Now it's looking good. Now let's put background of it. Background color, light sun green. And color black. And border radius 20 pixel. 20 pixel. Border radius. Border radius 20 pixel. And give it padding 5 pixels from each side. Now put it 10 pixel. Now it's looking good. That's it. Now we want to redirect. If user credential is good, alright, then we want to redirect the user to this page. Now let's start down here and function header. This is a function to redirect in PHP. So let's write in here inside double quote location where we want to redirect to the user. Location, this is our main.html, so that's why main.html. So let's save it here. Now after that, let's close this. Let's reload it. If user click on login, then let me fill it from database to check it's working or not. So I am entering this data here and password, this password, and okay, click OK. There was syntax error. Wait a second. 21. Oh, we have to put a semicolon here. So let's save it. Let's load it. Now, as you can see here, if we give right information, then it's redirect to our main page. And if we insert wrong information, like entering wrong password, then it shows please check your email and password and try again. That's why. That's back. I don't want to see this connection away, so let's comment what on. That means if connection is successful, then don't show message. But if connection is failed, then shows message. After that, let's insert one data and log in it. First, I'm using to log in it by name XYZ ABC. You can use anything, mobile number, I'm using GPT, email, I'm using h@gmail.com. In password I am at 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Sorry, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Now let's agree. So let's click on register. So if you will click on register, then I want to redirect the user to this login page. So let's port this page also. So if execute true, then header, I'm using the same concept here. If user data is true, data is successfully sent, then don't share this message, just direct to us in this page, login page. Now what's the name of the login page? So because I rated the login and registration form in the same page, that's why I have to write here in JavaScript. So let's remove it, and in JavaScript I am using this code how we can open a login form. So I'm using a class to activate this login form. So that's why into this let's have a script slash script. After that, let's write down script code here. So in here, add this line. Copy it from here, let's paste it, let's save it. As I told you, we uses registration and login form in one page, that's why we don't have to redirect it. We won't do that. So let's use another method. Let's copy it all the code of PHP and index.html. In registration, click here hash. It means if user click on login button, register button, then it not redirect to another page, it's only stayed on that page. So let's paste here PHP code, and now we have to change the name of this file. Name of this file index.html to index.php, because we are writing PHP code inside it, that's why. After that, if you will click on register button, then do this all JavaScript. Let's copy it. Now let's paste this all JavaScript into if condition. Now let's back. We have to write here echo first. Echo. We are using multiple double inverted comma, single inverted comma, and that's why inside backtick paste this all JavaScript. Now let's save it. Now our work is done. Let's open. This is one form. Let's upload it. Okay. Let's use the click on register. It asks for information. Let me register first. So I'm using another mobile number 98, email unknown@gmail.com, password I'm using JPT. If you click on register, then it's still on that page. Now let's click on login. Let's click on email. Come and password option. Let's check it, refresh. What's the password? So at the last, this is the password. Let's copy it and paste it here. Remember me, login. Wait for a second. That's it. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.